Hello, greetings to all. I am Raghu Parashar of Government Engineering College Ajmer. I am a final year computer science engineering student and I am here to present my seminar on forecasting techniques for load prediction in cloud computing environment. First of all, I want to thank my seminar supervisor Mr. Satish Ray for encouraging me on this topic and also my guide Mr. S.K. Khinchi for guiding me on these topics. In this presentation, I will cover following topics which are Introduction to Cloud Computing, what is forecasting, load prediction in cloud environment, types of forecasting techniques, Introduction to Artificial Neural Network, historical backgrounds, neural network layers, how does a neural network works, types of networks, backpropagation algorithm, applications of neural network, and finally the conclusion. So let's begin. Introduction to Cloud Computing. Cloud computing means storing and accessing data and programs over the internet instead of a poor computer hard drive. The rapid growth in cloud computing encourages the cloud provider to create more reliable, scalable, and efficient cloud environment. In cloud computing, forecasting is required to decide whether they need to perform a VM migration or not. In VM migration is one of the most crucial issues in dynamic resource management for large data centers. For effective VM migration, forecasting techniques are used. These techniques predict future load. So now what is forecasting? Forecasting is a process of making prediction of future data based on past or present data, and most commonly by analyzing trends. Businesses utilize forecasting to determine how to allocate their budget or plan for anticipated expenses for an upcoming period of time. A common example might be some estimation of some variables of interest at some specific future data such as weather forecasting, stock market forecasting, etc. Now load prediction in cloud environment. Load prediction is sort of planning, and it is said that to work with plan is to work with accuracy. As we all know that cloud environment is made up of servers, so that load on the server increases, the efficiency of server decreases. Load condition can be classified into two categories: hotspot, where the load is maximum, and cold spot, where the load is minimum. Both conditions must be eliminated. So we need a load prediction mechanism which can forecast when will the load on the server will exceed to its maximum value. The load prediction mechanism is used by many IT giants such as Google, Amazon, Microsoft for maintaining the efficiency of their servers. Each have their own cloud service. Google has Google Drive, Amazon has Amazon Web Service, Microsoft has Microsoft Azure, and etc. These techniques also help in reducing the carbon emission of these companies. As the server doesn't get overloaded, so it works on the minimum load. So ultimately, it requires less energy to work. So this load prediction technique also has good effect on the environment. Now types of forecasting techniques. There are several types of forecasting techniques such as time series techniques, casual econometric forecasting technique, judgmental technique, and artificial neural network technique. I'm here going to discuss about artificial neural network technique. Introduction to artificial neural network. ANN is an information processing paradigm that is inspired by the way biological nervous systems, such as human brain. It composed of large number of highly interconnected processing elements which are neurons, working in unison to solve a specific problem. An ENN is configured for specific applications such as pattern recognition, data classification through a learning process. Now, historical backgrounds. There are several points in historical background, such as early attempts, promising and emerging technology, period of frustration and disrupt and innovation. So, early attempts. In 1943, M.C. Clarke and Pitts developed a model of neural network based on their understanding in neurology. Their network were based on simple neurons, which were considered to be a binary device with fixed threshold. Another attempt was using computer simulation. Two groups, Fairley and Clark in 1954 and Roster, Holland, Habit and Duda in 1950. The first group of researchers was IBM and maintained close contact with the neuroscientists at McGill University, promising an emerging technology. Psychologists and engineers also contribute to the process of neural network simulations. Many systems were developed as a result. Rosenberg in 1958 stirred a considerable interest in activity in the field when he designed and developed the perceptron. The system could learn to connect or associate a given input to a random output unit. Another system was ADLINE, Adaptive Linear Element, which was developed in 1960 by Whitrow and Hoff of Stanford University. The ADLINE was an analog electronic device made for simple components. The method of learning was different from that of perceptron. Now, period of frustration and distrust. In 1969, Minsky and Prep wrote a book in which they generalized the limitation of a single layer perceptron to multi-layer system. Now innovation. Steve Grossberg and Gail Carpenter developed the art. Adaptive resonance theory, network based on biological plausible models. Klopp, in 1972, developed a basic for learning in artificial neuron based on biological principle for neural learning called stostatis. Paul Brobst in 1974 developed and used the backpropagation learning method. Fukushima developed a stepwise trained multi-layer neural network for interpretation of handwritten characters such as signatures, etc. Now neural network layer. Mainly there are three neural network layers: input layer, hidden layer, and output layer. So input unit. Input unit are designed to receive various forms of information from the outside world that the network will attempt to learn about, recognize, or otherwise process. In between the input unit and the output unit, there are more layers of hidden units, which together form the majority of the artificial brain. Most neural networks are fully connected, which means each hidden unit and each output unit is connected to every unit in the layer either side. Output unit. Output unit sits on the opposite side of the network and signals how it responds to the information it learns. These are known as output units. The connection between one unit and another are represented by numbers called weight, which can either be positive or negative. Here, here with the help of diagram, we can see that the red dots are input unit, blue dots are hidden unit, and the yellow dots are output unit. All the dots are connected to each other and they have specific weight. So how does the neural network works? Neural network processes information in a similar way the human brain does. Neural network learn by example. They cannot be programmed to perform a specific task. The neuron has two modes of operation, the training mode and the using mode. In the training mode, the neurons can be trained to fire for a particular input pattern. In the using mode, when a taught input pattern is detected at the input, the associated output becomes the current output. If the input pattern does not belong in a taught list of input patterns, the firing rule is determined whether to fire or not. Now, what is firing rule? So, a firing rule determines how one calculates whether a neuron should fire for a given input pattern or not. Now, types of networks. There are two types of networks in neural network: feed forward network, feedback network. Feed forward network. Feed forward ANN allows signal to travel in one way only, from input to output. There is no feedback, such that the output of any layer does not affect the same layer. They are extensively used in pattern recognition. This type of organization is also referred as bottom-up or top-down. So in the figure, we can see that information travels only in one direction, i.e. from input to output. There is no going back. It's just like an ordinary motorcycle engine which has no reverse gear. Now, feedback network. Feedback network can have signals traveling in both directions by introducing loops in network. Feedback network are dynamic. Their state is changing continuously. Feedback architecture are also referred as interactive or recurrent architecture. This involves comparing the output a network produces with the output it is meant to produce and using the difference between them to modify the weights of the connection between the units in the network, working from output unit to hidden unit to input unit going backward. So in this diagram, we can clearly see that the information is going in two directions, forward and backward also. So it is a two-way information exchanging mechanism. Now backpropagation algorithm. Backpropagation is a supervised learning algorithm for training multi-layer perceptron. The backpropagation algorithm looks for the minimum value of error function in the weight space using technique called the delta rule or gradient descent. The weight that minimum the error function is considered to be a solution of the learning problem. So it has four steps. First, it calculates the error. How far is the model output from the actual output? Second, minimum error. Check whether the error is minimum or not. Third, update the parameters. If the error is used, then update the parameters, such as weights and bias. After that, check again the error. Repeat the process until the error becomes minimum. Now, fourth step. Model is ready to make a forecast. Once the error becomes minimum, we can feed some input to model which will produce the output. So now in this diagram we can see that there is a model. First we calculate the error. If the error is minimum, then the model will make prediction. If not, we have to update the parameters such as weight and check again whether the error is minimum or not. We have to make this process continue until we have the minimum error. Now applications of neural network. First, recognizing pattern and making simple decision about them. Second, in aeroplanes, neural network can be designed for used as a basic autopilot. with input unit regarding signals from the various cockpit instrument and the output unit modifying the plane's control approximately to it keep safely on course. Third, there are loads of applications for neural network in security too. Suppose a bank with many thousands of credit card transactions passing through a computer system every single minute. Bank need a quick automated way to identify any transaction that might be fraudulent, and that's something for which neural network can be perfectly suited. Now we have arrived at conclusion. After studies, we can conclude that what is load prediction and why the load prediction is very important in IT giants. How neural network works and what are the applications in real life. There is a vast scope of AI in technology and it will dominate future technology and has plenty of opportunities after learning it. The technologies also have a good effect on the environment as it helps reduce the carbon emission. References. I have taken my references from google.com, Wikipedia, Edureka and explain that stuff. Thank you so much. And if you have any queries, please write it down in the comment section. I'll be very happy to resolve them. Thank you.